So, hello everyone. So the assignment here today I'm going to talk about is basically, it's a very complex case, and the scenario that has been presented to, ethically demonstrate the scenario with respect to that is that the scenario is that, there's a man who had a wife and they had a very decent spouse relationship with each other. Although the wife was not up to his mark in her health, and since she was suffering from the Lou Gehrig disease, it's a very complex disease in which the human being is unable to move, make any sort of movement. Instead, the human being is kind of numb most of the time, is bedridden. But although on the other side of the story is that the husband is very loving and very caring towards her wife. However, one day, the wife has been managed to share a note with her husband in which she is asking about that to somehow manage her to end her life. She's basically requesting her husband to support her in ending her life. So in that case, the man have an idea and he supported his that process with some sort of injection process, and then carbon monoxide and all that stuff. So somehow then the trial has been taken place against that husband for killing his wife. And now his lawyer argued that it was a crime of passion and compassion. So now in that case, I mean, we have to look out the multiple aspects of this case with respect to that. I mean, it's very easy to outrightly call any sort of a judgment or make any judgmental point against it's a killing or not. But I mean, we have to look at a certain other aspects of ethical dilemmas around this scenario. I mean, when we say that there's another perspective, it says that the deoton deontological perspective, which says that certain actions are inherently right and wrong regardless of the consequences. In this case, um, man is administered as a lethal dose of sleeping pills with the intention of ending his wife, which can be considered as an intentional act of harm. But on the other hand, I mean, there's another utilitarian perspective. It says that maximizing the overall happiness or well-being. In this context, the man could be evaluated based on the consequences. I mean, he believed he was acting out of compassion to end his life. So, for example, there are two perspectives, and both perspectives are opposite to each other. Do you the ontological perspective says yes, it is wrong, but on the other side, utilitarian perspective says yes. It comes under the bracket of the compassion, and since the husband was fulfilling the compassion of her wife, so you can't be, there are no such grounds for saying that it's a murder. Then obviously there's another legal perspective to it, based on the trial is going on. I mean, from a legal perspective, the man is likely to be charged with the murder or suicide depending on the laws of that certain jurisdiction where the event has been taken place. I mean, in that case, there are multiple aspects to it. You know, multiple considerations, multiple different areas that needs to be looked upon before coming to the point. And then in that case, I mean, I'm saying that it's a fact, it's a written fact that he was a loving wife who has taken care of her wife at almost in every possible way. And then it is itself her wife that had supported her, that had supported him to go for such kind of, process or even. So, I mean, and then the question that I've been asked is to obviously I have to discuss this view. Then was the man described above guilty of murder should go to jail or receive to death penalty? I mean, in that case, legal with respect to the legal perspective, it needs to be, not that much highly tightening this process. I mean, they have to be a bit flexible with that case because they have to comply with the laws and all that stuff. But I don't think so that in that case the husband deserves a death penalty in that case, considering all the ethical perspectives, because he was a compassionate husband as per the utilitarian perspective. So in that case, I mean, That's the possible situation which I can come up with this. So I think that's it. Thank you so much for listening to me. Care.